Hey, what's up, friends? It's your Mako here. Just gonna get you through a little primal movement mobility warm-up today. So just start seated, finding a couple of deep breaths in and out of the nose, feeling the belly rise and fall. And staying seated, start to find some spirals in the body, pulling the belly into the rib cage and then pulling the chest through the shoulders. Circling one way, and then finding circles the other way, making them nice and big, really feeling into the body. And then just start to come to stillness and just shift the ribcage side to side, moving the shoulders, start to come into a hover, keeping the belly lifting up into the spine, finding a little bit of shoulder mobility here, all the way up into the ribs. Pull the knees into the chest, hold that boat pose, start to just engage the core, fire it up, warm it up, holding here, taking a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, slowly lower down into that low boat, keeping the low back onto the earth. Flex the toes, maybe point them. Whatever feels good. Inhale, lift up, pull the knees back into the chest. And as you exhale, press away into that low boat. Find a couple of rounds of these here. Really intentional as you pull in and as you press away. Maybe let your dog join you. And then start to roll back, coming forward onto all fours. In that neutral tabletop position, bringing the shoulders right over the wrists, hips over the knees, start to find a couple of cat-cows, inhaling, pulling the shoulder blades together, gazing up, coming into that cow, and as you exhale, round through the spine, separating the shoulder blades nice and wide. And just allow this movement to be natural and organic to you, letting the belly drop and then pulling it back up into the spine, and just finding whatever feels good here. Finding some pretraction and protraction in the shoulders, moving however you want. I get a little weird here, but that's okay. We're all weird, right? And again, just feeling into the body, feeling what it needs, what it wants. Maybe tucking the toes, leaving them untucked, and then find a couple more cat-cows. Keeping with that breath. Cross the feet and then roll it back. Come all the way onto the back, keeping the feet about hips width distance, rooting the feet into the earth, letting the shoulders relax on the ground. You're going to press into the ground. Inhale to lift up the hips, squeezing the glutes, engaging the core. And I like to bring my elbows in towards my rib cage. You're going to lift up one leg, keep the foot flexed, drop the hips down, tiny tap, press the hips back up. I call these bridge marches. And just find a few rounds here, maybe 10 on one side. Really rooting in with that left foot. And then bringing that opposite foot down, flexing the left foot, dropping the hips, pressing them straight up into the air again. If you want to challenge yourself, try hooking that foot right next to that knee and then driving the hips up. Then after you get about 10 rounds done here, bring the feet next to each other and just start to lift up one foot at a time, keeping the hips lifted, driving through that core, squeezing the glutes together, making whatever faces you need to. And then we're going to go through some bridge reaches. So bring the arm all the way across the body to that opposite ear. Letting the hips come back down, driving the hips up to help you reach up and over. And just find a couple or a few reaches here, just to get that stretch in the front of the body, the side of the body, squeezing the glutes, still finding that strength. Couple more. And then bring the knees into the chest. Bring the hands in nice and close to the face, and we're just gonna start with some rock ups. And maybe you come one direction, finding a little semicircle, lifting up the shoulders, lifting up the hips, letting the core do all of the work as you rock forward and back. Semicircle the opposite direction. And then coming back to center, maybe find 10 more rock ups here, lifting up the hips, lifting up the shoulders. Whew, really squeezing that core, firing it up, coming all the way up to that seat. And then maybe you need to fix your hair here, and you know what? It's all good. I definitely do need to fix my hair here. And we're almost back and ready to go. All right. So we're gonna come into some leg switches. This really works hip mobility and core strength. And try to come really slow. That right leg is going to reach back, keep it bent, straighten it out as you come forward, and then switch, pulling that right heel in and allowing the left leg to reach out, coming back. Start to shift the body forward just a little as you come over that left knee. The right leg is going to come through. Then you're going to bring the body over the right knee. And take your time with these. Not using momentum, but really using strength. And maybe shifting the body forward, shifting side to side, waking up your dog. Again, shifting the body forward, side to side. And now we're going to reach as you come over that right leg, allowing for a little more strength benefits here. Reaching over that left leg and high five your wolf. Bringing that right leg back in, left leg comes back. Finding a little movement in the shoulders. Again, just really allowing for some mobility in the body. Now begin to come to all fours. Again, shoulders right over the wrists, hips right above the knees. We're gonna go through some opposite hand, opposite foot lifts, some contralateral lifts here. Pulling the shoulder blade really into socket, squeezing that shoulder blade, lifting up the right hand with the left hand with the right foot. And the only way you're lifting up that foot is just by pointing the toes. Knees are hovered. You're squeezing those shoulder blades in, keeping the arms locked out as you lift the opposite foot and opposite hand. This is not easy, y'all. It's definitely not one of my favorites, but it's a good one to do. And it's fun. But try to find 10 alternating sides. And then I call these little scapular push-ups or scapular dips. But keep one foot off the ground. The other one is connected. Knees are still hovered. But you can really feel that protraction and protraction of the shoulders here. Give yourself a little shake. Come to knees. Shake it out. Shake it up. Woo. Shake it out. Loosey-goosey. Shake out the wrists. I like to take a deep breath in, round through the spine. Inhale, open back up. Let the heart lift, let the head fall back. Deep breath up, exhale, round through spine. Inhale up, exhale, head falls back. And just find a couple of stretches here, rounding through the spine, forward and back, whatever feels good, and then come back to that tabletop position. Maybe sway it right to left. Pressing through the shoulder blades, feeling that nice stretch, keeping the arms locked out. And then from here, tuck the toes, lift the knees. We're gonna add a reach, working on some strength, working on some balance. I definitely lose my balance here. Whoop, that's a toughie. But reaching out, staying nice and strong, even in those moments of shake, even in those moments of, I don't know if I can do this, you've got this. And remember, this is all a practice, practicing this, working on this. This is how we get stronger. This is how we get better. And isn't it fun when we finally get to what we're just so good at? Now start to move contralaterally with that step. So the right hand, left foot steps forward. Shifting the body back and forth. Coming onto the knees. Inhale. Heart lifts, head falls back. Exhale. Deep breath and lift up. Exhale, round through that spine. Inhale. Heart lifts, let the head fall back. As you exhale, round through that spine, chin to chest. I like to add these in just to kind of break up the monotony of the movement. I also like to add in some shoulder stretches, some tricep stretches. So just grabbing the opposite elbow, lean to one side of the body, then grab the other elbow, lean to the opposite side, feeling just a little side body stretch here. Coming back to all fours, and we're gonna do that contralateral step on the opposite side. So left hand, right foot move forward as you shift forward and back. And this helps us get ready for that crawl or the switch under, which I love. So again, keeping that 2 points of contact. You're just gonna lift up that opposite knee and drive it under the body as you pull that elbow in towards you. So the left knee will drive under, right elbow comes in, right knee drives under, left elbow pulls into the body. This is a great core strengthening work or movement. It's also a great workout for the mind as well. Maybe find a couple cat-cows, stretching out the shoulders, the back. Coming into that shell pose or child's pose. And then ball the hands into a fist. We're gonna do some movements on the fists. Some things that really help strengthen the wrists. If your wrists are a little tight or sore or weak, I love being up on the fist. It takes that pressure off of the wrists. So coming into that down dog, keeping that pointer finger knuckle rooted into the earth, you're gonna roll the body forward. And maybe you drop to knees first, then step out, come to the tops of the feet, let the hips sink down, roll the body back into down dog, staying up on the knuckles the entire time, roll the whole body forward. Maybe this time you let the hips sink, heart lifts up, exhale, chin to chest, round through the body, press it back, down dog. And just find a couple of rolls here. And maybe come onto the knees. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, let the head fall back, heart lifts. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, round through the spine. Coming back up to the fists. We're gonna step it nice and wide. And then heel toe the feet in so that they're hips width distance. Reach out just a little bit and start to rock up onto the toes as you come to that first knuckle, that pointer finger knuckle, letting the heels lift. And then as you rock back, start to lift up the toes. Feel that stretch in the backs of the legs and the hamstrings, in the feet, all the way into the toes. And then walk the feet up a little bit more. Roll the body up, coming into a nice standing position. We're gonna go through some fun squats. I like these squats. I call them hero pose squats. You're gonna squat down, lift up, squat down, reach that left arm out, shift the body forward, hover with the knees, stand straight up. I call these hero squat poses because I feel like this is how you would land if you were a superhero. Drive the hips forward when you stand up. Squat low. Try to get that shoulder right over that wrist. Knees are hovered. Reach it out nice and long. Standing all the way up after you shift forward. And you can do these with one hand, or you can do these with two. If that one hand doesn't feel so good, or if you're working up to it, this is a modification you can take, and let me tell you, it is just as difficult. Keeping the knees hovered, lifting up, squatting down, shifting forward, knees hovered, core is really engaged here. This isn't so much for legs, but more for core, glutes, hips. And then once you stand, shake it out, let it all go. The shakeout feels so good. Don't worry about what you will look like because, hey, you're at home or in a park or on top of a mountain and nobody cares what you look like because I bet you're beautiful no matter what. So coming into that low malasana squat position, we're just gonna give our wrists some love here, our fingers some love. So press the palms in towards each other, lifting the fingers up, and then place the backs of the hands together. I like to pull them up after loving up on your dog and raising up the hands together a few times, Getting that wrist love. Stay in that Malasana squat. We're gonna slide the hands forward, coming up onto our fists. The ape slide. So coming up onto the fist, shift the body forward, hop forward, coming all the way up onto the top knuckles. And if you don't have much room like me, that's okay. You can walk it back. Again, sliding the hands underneath the body all the way up and through, really smoothly hopping it forward, keeping the hands behind you after that hop. Sliding the hands forward, coming up to knuckles, hopping forward, walking it back. Trust me, it's not easy having your knuckles on a hardwood floor. Slide the hands forward, come up onto the top of the knuckles, hop the feet forward. Stay low, keep the feet wide. Whew. Get a few rounds of that and then find a nice forward fold, maybe walking the hands underneath the body, letting the head, letting the neck relax. Inhaling to that halfway lift and then exhaling, just softening forward. And then from here, we're just gonna go through a couple of super small wrist push-ups, pulling the knees into the sides of the body. Pulling the elbows straight in towards the rib cage, not going super low here, but really feeling the shoulder blades squeeze together. Getting some strength in the biceps and the shoulders without putting too much pressure on the wrists. Now come back onto the back and start to rock and roll forward and back. And we're gonna rock all the way up. And we're gonna shift our knees forward and then rock it back. Shift the knees forward, rock it back. Working through core, working through hips, squeezing the legs together as you shift the knees forward. And maybe as you go through your rock backs and forth, straighten the legs one time, bend the knees another time. Just find what movement feels good and hold on that last rock forward. Come all the way down to the knees, lift the arms up. And as you exhale, walk the hands behind you, wrists right underneath the shoulders, open the heart to the sky, let the head fall back. Feel that good heart opener, and slowly walk the hands forward, coming down to a seat on the mat. And from here, just come into that comfortable crisscross seated position. Let's get some shoulder rotations in here, gazing over the shoulder, wherever that palm is flipping up. So alternating sides. It feels really, really good after being super hard on the shoulders, on the wrists. Then give your wrists some love as well, facing the fingers in towards you, lifting up the palms. Nice and easy, bending the elbows, just walking out the hands. And this is one that my mentor showed me. I love it. It's a wrist roll. Go one direction, go the other direction. It's a good one for the mind as well. And right here, this is another great one that my mentor showed me, the wave. It feels super good in the wrists. And then you're gonna go the opposite direction and you might have a brain flop, and that's okay. And this is one of my favorites. Bring the thumbs together to touch. The hands are in line with the elbows and you're just pressing straight out. So not pressing the palms away from you, but the outer edges of the wrists are pressing away. Pull it back in when it gets to be a little much. This has become one of my favorite wrist stretches. Feels so good to get the outside edge of the wrist. And then just shake it out. Final little wrist stretch here. We're just gonna come on to all fours and come up to palm lifts. So pressing into the earth and lifting all the way up to the tip of that middle finger, pressing in. And then flip the palms to face up and pull the fingers in towards the wrists. Maybe bend the elbows out to the sides of the body. Maybe shift the body back and forth. Maybe face the fingers in towards you. Do some weird things with the fingers. It feels really good. Maybe shift the body side to side. Come onto the heels. And yeah, you did it. Thank you guys so much for joining me for that Primal mobility warm-up, that little workout. You guys are awesome. I hope you had as much fun as I did. You da bomb.